The wind whipped down Fifth Avenue, a bitter gale that stole any lingering warmth. Under a granite awning, Elias watched the ballet of wealth, his eyes old with resignation. He was a shadow, a piece of human furniture the well-dressed avoided. Suddenly, a presence. A tall, broad-shouldered man in a cashmere overcoat stood before him. It was Alistair Finch, a titan of industry. His face, etched with the weight of 1,000,000 decisions. His glacial blue eyes fixed on Elias with an intensity that made the beggar drop his guard. "Get up," Alistair said, his voice calm and factual, cutting through the frigid air. Elias blinked, incredulous. "Excuse me, sir." "Get up, on your feet." The order was real. Shame, anger, and a sick curiosity flooded Elias. Hesitantly, his bones creaking, he pushed himself up, feeling the shame of his own weakness exposed. "Good," Alistair said. "Now, look at me." Not at the ground. At me. Elias forced himself to meet those piercing eyes. It was like touching a live wire. "You spend all day here," Alistair stated. "You see people's true faces." "I have a proposition on experiment. You come with me. Leave this behind for 1 month. Live Aussie live. Have everything. In return, I want your perspective. Your honesty. Tell me what truly has value." Elias felt the world tilt. A month, living as Alistair Finch. It was absurd, terrifying, tempting. "Why me? Esta meret." "Because you have nothing left to lose," Alistair replied, his voice softer, but no less intense. "A man with nothing to lose is the only man who can be completely honest. Your current existence is a slow death. I am offering a different end, or a beginning." He extended his hand, not for Ohms, but to receive him. Elias looked at the hand, then at his own world, the damp cardboard, the dirty blanket. He felt the cold, the hunger, the despair. Then he looked into Alistair's eyes and saw a challenge. In an act of pure madness or hope, Elias reached out his own trembling, calloused hand and placed it in Alistair's clean, strong one. "All right," he whispered. "I'll go." Alistair gave a slight squeeze. "Good." He turned, pulling Elias gently from his old life. Elias took one last look at his piece of cardboard, then followed the millionaire towards a waiting limousine. The car ride was surreal. The interior was a hushed sanctuary of leather and warmth. Alistair read a tablet, immersed in his world of numbers. The distance between them was vast. They arrived at a building like a modern cathedral. A private elevator took them to the penthouse. When the doors opened, Elias caught his breath. He was on top of the world. A vast open space with floor-to-ceiling glass walls revealed a panoramic view of Manhattan, a carpet of twinkling lights against the dusk. "Welcome to your new home for the next month," Alistair said. "My housekeeper, Mrs. Higgins, will see to you. You are not a guest. You are part of the experiment." Mrs. Higgins, severe, but led him to a room larger than any apartment he'd ever had. A huge bed, an armchair, a desk, and that breathtaking view. "The bathroom is through there. Take a bath. Dinner in 1 hour." Alone, Elias stood by the window, vertigo washing over him. What had he done? He went to the marble bathroom, turned on the tap, and hot water gushed out. He stripped off his filthy clothes, seeing his pale, bruised body in the mirror. Stepping into the heat was a shock, a painful thaw. He closed his eyes, tears mixing with the bathwater. He was in paradise, but felt more lost than ever. Dinner was in a vast dining room. Alistair, in a tuxedo, was already seated. The food was beautiful, artistic, but insubstantial. Elias ate, feeling disconnected. "When was the last time you had a hot meal?" Alistair asked, his tone clinical. "At the shelter. Soup. It was hot. And this is better. It's food, but the soup was more filling." Alistair almost smiled. Sustenance versus experience. You are eating inexperience. After dinner, Alistair showed him a library with a globe studded with lights. This is my world. Every green light a company I control. Every red one a competitor. It is power. The only thing that stops a man from ending up on cardboard. Elias felt the statement as a blow. He was a reminder of failure. That night, Elias couldn't sleep. The bed was too soft, the silence too absolute. He missed the sounds of the street. He was a ghost in a world of gold. Days fell into a routine. Mrs. Higgins provided a new wardrobe of impossibly soft, perfectly cut clothes. Getting dressed felt like a disguise. Alistair included him in his life. In boardrooms, Elias watched him command executives. He didn't understand the business, but he understood the people, the fear, the adulation, the wariness. They were trapped in a gilded cage. At a business lunch, Alistair whispered, "What do you think of him?" Indicating a boisterous tech magnate. "He's lying," Elias said quietly. "His hands tremble when he talks business. He checks his reflection constantly." Alistair was silent, then smiled with genuine respect, perceptive. He subtly ended the deal based on Elias's judgment. This became a pattern. Alistair consulted Elias on people, not business. Elias, with his street-honed perception, saw through facades. The greed behind philanthropy, the loneliness behind success. The millionaire was learning the language of human truth from the beggar. But a void remained. A party at the penthouse was a dazzling affair of beautiful, empty people. Elias felt profoundly lonely. Alistair found him on the balcony, not enjoying the party. It's a different noise. The noise of ambition. They want something from you, just like on the street. The currency is different, but the transaction is the same. On the street, Elias said, a gift comes from compassion, a human connection. Here, everything is a calculation. It's lonelier. Alistair looked at him, and for the first time, Elias saw vulnerability. The experiment was no longer one-sided. Alistair cancelled his schedule. "Today, you show me your world." They went out. No limousine, no suit. Elias took him to the shelter. Alistair was visibly uncomfortable, absorbing the smells of disinfectant and despair. At a soup kitchen, an old man dropped his tray. Alistair stepped back in disgust, but Elias immediately knelt to help. "They know you," Alistair said later on a park bench. "They care if you show up. It's survival. We lean on each other. Necessity creates a bond. In your world, no one needs you. They want what you have." "Tell me," Alistair asked, "what did you dream about out here?" "Simple things. A warm bed, a meal. But the biggest dream was to have my dignity back, to be seen as a man." The word dignity hung in the air. Alistair finally understood it. Back in the penthouse, the luxury felt different, less like power, more like isolation for Alistair. Less intimidating, more alienating for Elias. The month was almost up. Alistair summoned Elias to his study. "You have held up your end. It has been illuminating." He pushed a check across the desk of Fortune. "This is yours, a reward. You can leave this life behind forever." Elias looked at the zeros. It was liberation, security, the end of pain. He reached out, his fingers trembling, and then he stopped. He looked at Alistair's face, saw the assumption that money was the solution. "No," Elias said, his voice firm. Alistair was stunned. "No, this solves all your problems. It solves the problems of the man on the street. I am not that man anymore. This month, you showed me who I am. The money buys comfort, but it pulls me away from that. It makes me dependent on your world, a world I still find empty. What will you do?" "I don't know, but I cannot go back, and I cannot stay. I need to find my own path, where I can have the dignity of earning my life, not having it given to me." He stood. "Thank you for showing me what everything is. It's not what I thought." He turned to leave. "Elias, Alistair rose. The experiment is over, but the friendship, is it? Elias looked at the lonely man at the top of the world. Perhaps he left, taking nothing. Elias went to the soup kitchen. He met with the director, David. I have an idea. We can be more. Using his observed business acumen, Elias reorganized logistics, created job connections, counseled people. He gave them hope. He never asked Alistair for anything. But soon, a new van arrived anonymously. Then, computers. Then an offer from Finch Industries for a vocational program. A year later, the soup kitchen was the Elias Opportunity Center, a place of learning and hope. Elias was a manager, a leader. He had found his path and earned his dignity. He and Alistair occasionally met for coffee in a simple diner. An improbable friendship, forged in fire. Sitting at his desk, Elias looked at the distant skyscrapers. He thought of the man shivering under the awning, the man living in the sky, and the man he was now, feet on the ground, making a difference. He picked up a pen. He wasn't writing a plea. He was writing a business plan to expand the center. The millionaire and the beggar discovered that true wealth isn't in a bank account, but in the connections we make, the dignity we cultivate, and the difference we dare to make. Sometimes, to find what matters, you must be willing to lose what you thought you needed. The greatest gift is not gold, but a second chance, and a pair of eyes to see the world as it truly is.